Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Wednesday morning.
Oh my God.
I am alongside Paul Fletcher.
It is Wednesday, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Holy smokes. Third step of the 5-step program of the weekend.
Ryder.
Don't mess with
Oh,
Nana.
Nana.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
Nana.
never.
Never.
My Nana was just called Graham, Gertrude Gorman, who was fond of saying, I'll take my shoe at you.
Wow.
Never saw her take a shoe at anyone, but
Okay.
the threat
All right.
was always very live.
And she literally meant that.
Large
a
woman.
shoe was coming your way.
Big foot equals big shoe from Gert.
Yikes.
Don't cross Gertie. All right,
Pass.
it is time as I am full on feeling Minnesota, Paul, for some headlines.
All right. Yesterday, after mulling over the decision and hinting at another run, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz officially announced he's seeking a third term as governor. He's served since 2018. His running mate for many years, Peggy Flanagan, is going to be running for the U.S. Senate. So one thing he'll have to figure out is who his running mate will be this time around. But there you go. Walz seeking a third term.
Surprising no one.
Is
'cause
that
you've
your
been
way of?
teasing this.
Is that your way of putting your hat in the ring?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh,
Good.
me?
Best of luck to you.
Oh, running mate. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got to have a backup just in case you guys kick me out.
Go ahead. Go for it. That's exciting.
You guys, thank you. I appreciate that. Remember the file sharing platform LimeWire?
Of course.
They were popular
Yeah.
in the 2000s for music streaming. At
Yeah.
one point, boasting more than 50 million monthly users. Well, yesterday, LimeWire announced it has purchased the rights to the Fire Festival for $245,000, outbidding actor Ryan Reynolds' production company on eBay. Company says it will unveil a reimagined version of the infamous Fire Festival and the brand in the coming months.
LimeWire still had $245,000 laying around.
Yeah.
Well, good for them.
Well, here's some context. Actually, years after being shut down for copyright infringement, the company relaunched in 2022 as a file-sharing service specializing in NFTs, and today they have over 2 million active users. So, yeah, I guess they've got the dough.
If you have a company named LimeWire and you
Cool
don't
name.
figure out a way to repurpose AC/DC's Livewire as your theme song, you're doing it wrong. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, it can also just be limes for tequila.
Or just take a song from the Australian punk legends, the Lime Spiders. Either way, there, I've given
sure,
you two
yeah.
options.
Excellent.
I mean, they got 2
The
million
cave
users.
comes alive. We're not hip to the Lime Spiders? Come on, guys.
Nope.
All right.
Students from Flea's Silver Lake Conservatory of Music, which is a nonprofit educational organization, the kids have gotten together for a new EP titled Our Loving Tribute to Red Hot Chili Peppers. It contains covers of Chili Pepper songs Soul to Squeeze, Humpty Bump, and more. Flea says, quote, "The kids, I'm so grateful that our music can be a vehicle for their spirits to fly. That is what music is for. I am so proud of them." So Chad Smith Foundation
Yep.
doing stuff here with the U of M.
Yep.
Flea doing this. Those Chili Pepper guys doing some good things.
Give him back, baby. Give him back.
A proposal by SpaceX includes launching up to 44 Starship rockets each year from Cape Canaveral in Florida. Of course, there are always going to be political fighting with stuff like this. And now nudists are joining the fight because Playa Linda Beach, or maybe it's Playa Linda, a clothing optional spot near the Kennedy Space Center, could see frequent closures and noise disruptions. So the nudists are angry.
Well,
I mean,
just send them our way, because I know there's some places up north where there's like some nudist action happening, and somebody can hit me up on the text line with an exact location.
There's some nudist camps here in the great
Yeah.
state of Minnesota. I'm well aware of. Not that I've been, but I've come across them in my what I call research.
Your travels.
Yes.
Might get a little chilly in the winter, but I think
I was
they
just
can
going to
handle
say,
it.
you said they're up north? That sounds like shrinkage to me.
Sure.
Yikes.
Hey, man, it's not sexual. It's about freedom. It's feeling good. Shrinkage
Oh.
is perfectly acceptable.
Okay, fine.
We all understand the rules. Did I say we? They understand the rules. Hey, let's talk sports really quick. The New York Yankees at Target Field last night, by the end of the second inning, were leading the Twins 10-1.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest thing happened. We scored 8 more runs, and it
did
was
we?
10-9, and then we didn't win the game, though.
Wow.
It was close. Hey, you know what? If you were there, and by the way, the stated attendance was 25,000. I imagine that's a lot of Yankees
Come
fans.
on.
But anyway, it was an exciting game. A lot of action,
Wow.
just didn't quite go the way everybody had hoped. Vikings running back Aaron Jones has been moved to injured reserve. He's going to miss at least 4 games with a hamstring, which means 5 or 6. Hamstrings just do not care.
Nope, they don't go away either.
C.J. Ham, Ty Chandler also on the IR.
Wow.
It's just absolutely nightmarish right now what's happening with the health of this team. Now, it is football. People get hurt, but the Vikings seem to be leading the pack, if you will. Now, they're going to play Cincy at home, and then they go to Europe for 2 games. Then they come back for a bye in Week 6, and then have the Eagles and the Chargers.
Oh, easy.
Which, if you've watched anything from the NFL in the last 2 weeks, that's number 1 and probably number 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah.
What a year.
Oh, boy.
Hey, how about this?
Wow.
Surprising absolutely nobody. Paige Beckers of Hopkins, your WNBA Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
72 votes from sports writers. She picked up 70 of those votes.
Wow,
there we go.
Good gracious.
Yeah.
Go get them. 692 points, 194, third most by a rookie. She did have 44. That was her season high against the Sparks on August 20th. Her highest, it was the WNBA's highest point total this season in a game, and most ever tied for a rookie. First player in league history to get 40 or more points while shooting 80% in a game. All this to say, as expected, Rookie of the Year, as expected, an absolute dominant first season.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Finally, Murray Williamson, a brave, prominent figure in Minnesota hockey, died. He was 91 years old. A 3-year letterman for the Gophers back in the 50s. Played several years of semi-pro and then said, you know what, I'm going to coach. Coached the U.S. national team at the World Hockey Championships in 67, 69, and 71. He was the Olympic coach in 68 and 72, a team that featured Herb Brooks as a player. Yeah. He was one of Herb's North Stars, if you will. The 1972 team, over half the roster, of course, Minnesotans. He formed the Midwest Junior Hockey League. He was the coach of the first U.S. national team that played the inaugural World Junior Tournament in Russia in 1973. Yeah. Long story short, a legend of the state of Minnesota in hockey terms. Rest easy, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Nice run right there.
Yeah, really good run. Obviously.
Let's talk about Long Duck Dong, who loves the town of Lake. Big Lake, Minnesota. Come on.
Yes.
It's never too early for a 16 Candles reference.
No, it isn't, man.
Duck Dong to kick
right.
off Wednesday, baby.
Yeah. Big Lake.
Hi, Big Lake.
Good to have you with us, Big Lake. Hey, if we're talking about sports and competitions in general, if you ever find yourself asking, what won't people cheat at? The answer, which I'll explain after we hear from Garbage, is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Hey, let me mention right now, we got a big show today. We're just loaded.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Mike Mills, founding member of R.E.M., playing in town tonight, along with Peter Buck, another member of R.E.M., in a thing called the Baseball Project at the Fine Line. Mm-hmm. It's a great band. Steve Wynn from the Dream Syndicate. By the way, R.E.M. and Dream Syndicate, 2 of the reasons I dropped out of college. So thanks for that, guys. I'm not kidding.
Thank you. No, I'm not either.
Playing the Fine Line tonight. We're going to give away Bert Kreischer tickets next hour. We're going to talk to Sam Ekstrom about the Vikings in the 8 o'clock hour. And in the 9 o'clock hour, Erik Berry from Trampled by Turtles will be calling in to discuss Farm Aid 40. So put that in your pipes and smoke it.
Damn.
Especially today.
It's a whole lot going on. In Scotland, the World Stone Skipping Championships. By God, what have they not thought of in this world of ours?
I would imagine this one goes back a while.
I would imagine so. Stone Skipping Championships in Scotland were rocked by a cheating scandal. What won't people cheat at? The answer is, of course, nothing. Some of the competitors, well, you looked at those stones and were like, wait a minute. Hang on. Really? Here is Kyle Matthews of the World Stone Skimming Championships explaining what went down.
Maybe. Nope.
Oh, I felt so good about this.
Oh, boy.
No?
Unfortunately, by a very small number of competitors, they had used some machinery to smooth the outside edge of their stone and make it exactly perfectly round to fit through our measurer, which is called the Ring of Truth.
The Ring of Truth.
That's incredible. Wow. The Ring of Truth.
Might want to get down off your high horse. You got people cheating. Maybe change it up.
We found some people cheating, and the punishment is we drop them in the middle of the lock and let Nessie deal with it.
Yeah.
That's how that
seems
works.
Fair.
Yeah. That's the only time anyone really sees Nessie is when they find cheaters.
In the skimming. In the stone skimming. That's when Nessie comes out.
Come down, girls. We'll take our justice.
I like this punishment.
When I was a kid,
I
would have absolutely cheated at stone skimming because I've never been able to do it.
No,
and
really?
I'm the worst. I just never. On occasion, I'd get like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I just think I just grew up with like Tufts from Little Rascals outtakes, it seems like, because I look back at the things other kids were doing. They were smoking cigarettes, they were skimming stones, they were doing cool stuff. And I would watch these guys just 8, 10, 12 hops and be like, what magic are you conjuring? Yeah, I would have totally cheated if I could have.
I just love that smoking cigarettes and skimming stones are the cool things. The things that indicated something that was cool.
It was the 70s. It was a different time.
I hear you. Now, you know what? I was big on it. Buddies and I, we constantly, Mom and Dad took us cabins in northern Minnesota, and we would sit and skip stones until they told us to come inside, basically.
Man, that's fantastic. I love people sitting around talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what we'll do for next year?
Yeah.
We'll get a machine. We'll smooth our edges. Yeah. It's fantastic. Hey, speaking of Mike Mills and Peter Buck of R.E.M., who were playing at the Fine Line tonight, lead singer of R.E.M., Michael Stipe, has finally come clean, letting R.E.M. fans know they've been wrong for decades on one of their most iconic songs. The lyrics you've been singing, We'll explain. We'll clarify. That's in about 5 minutes and 2 songs. This is Gorman in the Morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS.
Yeah, it is.
I think I got all those lyrics. He just said thunderstruck a lot for 4 minutes, right?
He says thunder, and then every time he does it, you're supposed to take a drink. That's the game.
That's
And I think it's like 35.
That game lasts for one song.
Yeah, I'd be done.
Oh my God.
I'd be done by then.
Over the years, many lyrics, of course, misheard, misunderstood. Things are mispronounced. That's just a part of rock and roll. Going all the way back to Louie Louie, which no one knows any of the words beyond Louie Louie.
Right.
I mean, it's incredible to listen to it. The Kingsman Louie Louie. To this day, you're like, seriously, that was a hit, but it just rocks. It's great.
And then Lemmy took a crack at it, and it got even worse.
It got even worse. That's right. R.E.M. Famously. So I'm an R.E.M. fan, but I'm an '80s R.E.M. fan. I saw R.E.M. before they ever even put out their first EP. So I'm like OG, old school, claim to fame. That was me. My identity was, this is my band, before the world knew them. And in those days, you couldn't understand most of what came out of Michael Stipe's mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, he was gargling marbles and singing at the same time. By design, that was kind of the thing. But then as the 90s approached and as the late 80s approached and Warner Brothers gave them $1 billion, they were like, hey, why don't you pronounce words that we can understand? And he said, oh, okay. And oddly enough, turned out to be a pretty great lyricist. Go figure.
Right.
But now, one of their most famous songs from 1987, it's The End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. He finally posted online last week some clarifications. He's basically like, you guys have been singing this all wrong all these years.
I got government for hire, maybe.
Wow.
Would it help if I slowed it down a little?
No.
Oh, that's the Trent Reznor version.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He posted last Thursday night, okay, this is what we just heard him sing. These are the actual lyrics.
Okay.
Feed it off an ox, A-U-X.
Auxiliary.
Feed it off an ox.
Yeah.
Speak. Grunt, no strength. The latter start to clatter with fear, fight, down height. Wire in a fire, representing 7 games, a government for hire, and a combat site.
It's not speeded up a notch?
It sure sounds like it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sure sounds like
Really?
it.
Well, maybe so. Well,
Michael's wrong.
speed it up a notch, speed, grunt, no strength. That's true. Who knows? I mean, maybe he's combining verses.
Oh.
I don't know.
I think the guy that wrote it probably knows, though.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Some front people, I would say no, they have no idea. But Michael Stipe, I would say, yeah, he's probably plugged in.
Unless he was really on some stuff.
He did talk about their first 3 releases, the EP Chronic Town, the first album Murmur, and the second Reckoning. And he said, any other lyrics, don't even try those 3, by the way. Just form vowels and syllables and mean it.
Yeah.
Yes!
I love that.
The coolest thing ever.
Very
By the way, that was so much of the appeal. I was talking to my kids years ago, but they were like, why do you like this band so much? And I was like, well, you have to understand at the time and the context and, beyond just I like the music, but I said, to have a singer singing unintelligible lyrics and sit around with friends all night and try to decipher it and come up with your own phonetic version of the words, I go, I don't know, it just made you embrace it even more. Like, this is my band. And then you had your lyrics that made it your band. And I really couldn't make sense of it, but it was just such a time and a place where that made so much sense to me. So anyway, I'm glad to know that I've never known any of those. I never even tried to figure out what he was saying by that time.
Yeah,
I mean,
but still a super fan.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it was like, but the first time I heard that song, I was like, oh, well, come on. You got to be kidding me. It's just...
Maybe this is why my guys Pearl Jam got as big as they did, because Eddie was maybe even more mushmouth than Michael.
I will say this, and by the way, this is not a knock on Pearl Jam. The first time I saw them live was in 1994, and it was at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, and I stood on the side of the stage, and I watched 3 songs, and I went, oh, that's just total Michael Stipe. Oh, I get it. Oh, he's taken. This is Michael from 10 years ago for a 90s spit shine new audience.
Yeah,
that's all I saw in Eddie Vedder was
unreal.
His body language, his moves, it was all. I was like, oh, right. And of course, he inducted them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
When R.E.M. got the nod, it was Eddie who inducted them, and I was like, oh, I get it. I mean, and again, that's not a knock. Every time you see a young artist, you immediately go, oh, you can see what tree he's falling out of.
Yep, 100%.
And I saw Eddie Vedder, and I was like, that's 1,000,000% Stipe.
Yeah. What tree he's falling out of.
Sure.
I like that one.
Like a coaching tree in the NFL.
That's exactly what it is. No shortage of other misunderstood lyrics. I've got a few from my past. I'm sure we all do. We'll get to a few. 651-989-ROCK. What lyric have you never understood or did you always get wrong? Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Michael Stipe has clarified what some of the lyrics to It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine are. We've all had them wrong, apparently, for 35, 37 years. And, of course, in the history of rock music, so many. Early days for me as a kid, my brother Tom, a guitarist, a Jimi Hendrix fanatic, was one, and this is a real famous one, but in my house, it was just my brother confusing his younger brothers. He would tell us, when you hear Purple Haze, we're rocking, we're all digging it, going along, and he'd go, do you know what he's singing here?
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
That's it. Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Yes.
And I was confused.
Yes.
Really? Huh. Oh, well, I mean, you know. My dad gives me a kiss goodnight. Well, okay, cool. Excuse me while I kiss this guy till I was at least 12. And someone said, dude, it's Kiss the Sky. I was like, well, now that makes way more sense in the context of what I understand psychedelic rock to be. All right. Yeah, you know what happens. I another one this was a hot debate when I was in high school. I love when people listen to one radio station and you all have the same music. I'm all for, whatever. Everybody has their own playlist now, but screw you, Steve Jobs. It was better when we all had the same choices.
It was a communal experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It was water cooler conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
When the Go-Go's took over the world in the early 80s, there was an argument at my school, not a tiff, a full-on almost fists flying over what they were singing, because one girl in our school insisted that this song play Our Lips Are Sealed. We all know it. Okay, now you know what they're about to say right here.
Our lips are sealed.
One girl, I'm not going to name her because she's married to a dear friend of mine. Notice I said they're not both my friends. She insisted they were singing Ala Kazil.
What does
She goes,
that
no, I read it.
even
Ala
mean?
Kazil. And she said, it's some Arab term, Ala Kazil.
It's a spell? What's
And we were
happening?
like, Ala Kazil. And that turned into a multi-dimensional ripples in the pond. More people got involved, and then people are taking sides. And it almost came to fisticuffs. That's how much we cared.
Wow.
That's how great the early 80s were.
Wait, there were other people than this girl who got on the Ala Kazil
They just
side?
got on her side.
Okay.
She was a cheerleader.
Oh.
She always had built-in fan base.
Right.
Explains everything.
It's ridiculous.
But you're right. This is the stuff you fought about. It's important. Take your
course.
stand.
Around those same days, okay, the last Wings album, Back to the Egg, Paul McCartney, Back to the Egg, like 1979, the single from that album, Getting Closer, this was a top 10 hit, and everybody argued over the fact that it sounds like he's saying My Salamander. And it's like,
He's
there's
not saying
it's
My Salamander?
No, here's the thing. He is. That's the lyric. Say you don't love him, My Salamander.
No.
Okay.
And we argued over that. No, there's no way. No, it's mice, alamander. It's mice. We were all, there was no way that's what he was saying. And then it turned out, no, he's calling someone as a pet name. Say you don't love him, my salamander. What the hell? How much weed was he smoking? The answer's a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So
Obviously.
many. What do you got, Fletcher?
We got a good text from a 507 number said, guy at work, Nick, sings Dirty Deeds, Thunder Chief.
Oh, man, I got a buddy who does that one. Dirty deeds done with sheep. He's a little weird.
Well,
Wow,
is he Welsh?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Always got to take a swipe at the Welsh anytime the opportunity presents itself.
Another one from 715 said, when I was a kid, I always thought Aerosmith's Dude Looks Like a Lady was Do It Like a Lady. Maybe because of the scene in Mrs. Doubtfire.
I can see that.
Oh, yeah. I'm on that same boat. I'm riding that ride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that means do it badass.
Of course that's what it means.
Yes.
When I see things that say throw like a girl, I'm like, yeah, don't do anything like a girl unless you want to win.
Absolutely.
I'm pro gal. Call me crazy.
Absolutely. I don't know if I can get on this one. Sorry, Steven. Steven says, when I was a kid, I thought Sad But True was Sand Patrol.
Oh, Metallica?
Yeah, I guess.
It's funny.
That's a stretch, Steven.
That's
Yeah.
a bit of a stretch. More misunderstood lyrics, 651-989-ROCK. We're feeling Minnesota. We got headlines in about 5 minutes and 2 songs. Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Wednesday, September the 17th. Good morning. Very glad to have you with us. Paul Fletcher, I'm feeling Minnesota. Please, sir, some headlines.
Absolutely. Recreational cannabis is now available for the first time at Minnesota shops. Legacy Cannabis in Duluth was the first in the state to open yesterday at 420, of course.
Of course.
Here in the Twin Cities, though, Rise Cannabis is opening 3 locations, as well as one in Wilmer and another in Mankato, and they open today at 9 a.m. They actually received their license like 2 months ago, but so did the cultivators. And so it took some time for the supply to catch up, if you will.
Makes sense.
But there you go, 9 o'clock today.
We got beat by Duluth.
Yeah, sorry. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? Every now and again, you got to give them one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Drummer Matt Cameron will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a second time on November 8th with Soundgarden. He was previously part of Pearl Jam's induction in 2017, but he says this one feels, quote, a little more meaningful because, quote, I helped build Soundgarden from the ground up and I helped create the sound, and I think a little bit more than I did with Pearl Jam. That was definitely more of an established thing that I came into. By the way, Soundgarden also working on a final album. There's no set release date yet. The band wants to complete the entire album before releasing any singles.
I agree with Matt Cameron. Soundgarden feels a little more meaningful to me, too.
Okay.
That all makes perfect
Wow.
sense. It's funny. I did see a couple people trying to say, like, that's disrespect. No, it just makes sense. He was there from day one.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that they allowed him in with Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
I mean, their commercial peak was before his time.
Yep.
And it's the Hall of Fame after all. So, I mean, it's nothing against Matt. He's an awesome dude. I'm just saying, people looking for problems where none exist.
Now, Ryder's comment a second ago, that was disrespectful.
No, it's just reality.
Okay.
It is reality.
It's Ryder's world.
Yes.
That's an awesome world. Purple sky and all.
I can't wait for the Saturday morning show. Are you still in development for Ryder's World?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Charlie Hunnam, most known for his role as Jax Teller in Sons of Anarchy, is set to play the haunting serial killer in the 3rd season of Netflix horror anthology series Monster, the Ed Gein story. Gein's gruesome crimes, including grave robbing and creating objects from human remains, involved an obsession with his mother, isolation, and psychosis. If that all sounds familiar, well, it's because it inspired decades of horror films like Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Premieres on Netflix October 3rd.
Okay, I thought it was Ed Gein. It's Gein.
It's Gein.
Gein.
No, I know that because I watched the trailer, and I kid you not, I don't know if I'm going to watch this show. That's how freaky the trailer is.
Yeah.
Holy crap, which means I'll watch it the night it hits.
Yeah. One of my favorite local punk band names ever, Ed Gein Fan Club.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wow. Very good.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Did you guys watch the Dahmer one?
Yeah.
I feel like if you can get through Dahmer, we should be able to get through this. But
I don't
who
know,
knows?
man.
Who knows?
Phew.
That's what I got.
All right. I've got a little bit of sports information for you. The Yankees responded to losing to the Twins by putting 10 runs up in the first 2 innings last night at Target Field.
Jeez.
The weird part is the Twins came back. What was once a 10-1 deficit, the game ended 10-9. Twins had a couple shots where it looked like they were actually going to make the improbable 10-run come from behind rally and win. They only put up 8 to lose 10-9. That's all right. But for the people there, I bet they had a good time. So well done, folks who are still going to Target Field.
Let's have some fun. That's all we
the
can
Vikings are dinged up, to say the very least. We all know J.J. McCarthy's out for a while. Aaron Jones is on injured reserve. That's at least 4 weeks probably before we see him again. C.J. Ham, the fullback, and running back Ty Chandler, just a litany, just a who's who is beaten up for the Vikings right now. They will play at home against Cincinnati this Sunday, the battle of two backup quarterbacks, and then they go to Ireland and then England before returning home for the week 6 bye. No team will need that bye more than a 2 back-to-back game in Europe beat up, trampled down Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
That.
Holy crap.
Trampled by turtles.
And when they return, they get the Eagles and the Chargers for their efforts. That's 2 of the better teams in the league this year.
Welcome home, guys.
70 of 72 voters said, Rookie of the Year for the WNBA? Well, that would be Paige Beckers.
Yeah, makes sense.
Duh.
Checks out.
Hopkins' very own, who's just an absolute all-around pleasure to watch play basketball. Paige Beckers, congratulations. Very well done.
Love that.
A big prominent member in the Minnesota hockey community, Murray Williamson, has died. He was 91 years old. The man coached at a lot of different levels, but most importantly, I guess, the 68 and 72 U.S. Olympic men's coach. That includes the 72 team. The 68 team, which had Herb Brooks as a player. The 72 team took silver at the Olympics in Sapporo, Japan. And if you are a part of the old school Minnesota hockey world, then this is one of those guys. Well done, Murray. Godspeed to you, sir. On this day in 1935, listen to this. This is the craziest sports story you'll hear today. Brooklyn Dodgers outfielder Len Kennecke was cut from the team.
Okay.
He was not in a good mood when that happened.
Oh, no.
Been cut by the Dodgers. He had a flight back to his home in Canada. They threw him off the airplane in Buffalo because he was too drunk.
Oh.
Wow.
While at the airport, he chartered his own plane. In 1935, it probably cost him 76 cents.
Right.
He chartered his own flight. Got angry on that plane as he was so drunk, he tried to take over the controls of the plane.
Oh.
The pilot said, dude, back off or this is going to go down. He jumped into the cockpit in a drunken frenzy and grabbed the stick. The pilot picked up a fire extinguisher, smacked him in the head, and killed him.
No.
Landed the plane safely and said, I just killed this guy from the Brooklyn Dodgers, but he was trying to crash the plane. That's a true story.
Man.
Len Kennecke.
Holy
dude.
smokes.
Emotional regulation, not part of his daily regimen.
No.
Clearly.
It's just one of those things.
That is,
Get him an edible. Jeez.
yeah, or something. Good
Hey,
Lord.
Somerset,
Tranquilizer.
Wisconsin. Glad to have you with us. Somerset, Wisconsin. The emotional, the what I call the. No, I was going to make a Len Kennecke joke and Somerset. There's no connection whatsoever. But Somerset's a lovely
Yes.
town.
It
Damn
is.
straight.
Hey, tonight at the Fine Line, there's a gig, a band called the Baseball Project. The Baseball Project, lead singer Steve Wynn from the Dream Syndicate. You've got Pete Buck and Mike Mills, 2 members of R.E.M. You've got Linda Pittman, a local gal, a drummer of note. And then you got Scott McCoy from the -5. It's an indie rock supergroup, if you will, at a time. But this band has existed for many years. And the Baseball Project writes and sings songs all about baseball.
Hell yeah.
And
That's
it's
hilarious.
actually really cool. The songs are great. If you like the Dream Syndicate and R.E.M., you're like, this sounds like those bands. But the lyrics are about baseball, all of them, and they're playing that. It's a great band, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
Mike Mills of that band, and again, also of R.E.M., we're going to catch up with him. But first, let's listen to the old boys, R.E.M., right here with Losing My Religion. Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS on the horn. Michael Mills, a friend of mine, I'm very proud to say, and a hellacious musician. He's with the Baseball Project. They are at the Fine Line tonight. Mike, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve. Pleasure to speak with you.
It is always my pleasure, my man. Let's just go right to it. For anyone who's not familiar with the Baseball Project, I've been saying it's my kind of supergroup. A couple guys from R.E.M., a guy from the Dream Syndicate, a guy from, the -5, a whole bunch of baseball fans all got together, and local girl Linda Pittman on the drum kit, let's not forget. How did this start? What's the beginning? What's the genesis story of the Baseball Project?
Well, the boys were at an after party of ours, I think from the Hall of Fame ceremony, actually. Not to humble brag, but
that's a pretty good start.
But they got to talking about how much they liked baseball, and they couldn't figure out why there wasn't some sort of baseball project that would write songs about baseball. So they decided to start one.
It's just that easy, I guess. So you guys have been recording records, releasing music, and playing shows, songs. And if anybody's wondering, yes, the songs are literally all about baseball. But we have fans of different teams here. I mean, are there any other ruffled feathers? You're in a band with a Minnesota Twins fan, Linda, and I always go right back to 1991. It can't be easy.
We do discuss that. We have a song called Fairweather Fans where each of us expresses our team affiliation, and I get a break in the song where I talk about what a horrible, wretched call that was on Ron Gantz at first base. But Craig Finn from the Hold Steady sang the song on our record some years ago.
Okay.
But we're all fine. We're all fine with our different team. We support each other for the most part, except for Steve, because I can't stand the Yankees.
Well, sure. I mean, that goes without saying. It's always hard for me to swallow that an Angelino like Steve Wynn just adopted the Yankees all those years ago when he moved to New York. But you know what? We'll give him a pass. We'll do that.
I think we have to. You live in New York. You don't have a whole lot of choice. Mets, Yankees, take your pick.
Yeah, that's true. The Baseball Project tonight at the Fine Line. This band features Mike Mills, who's on the phone with us, and his former bandmate in R.E.M., Pete Buck. Well, it's weird to say former. I mean, you don't perform as R.E.M. anymore, but in my mind and everyone's mind, y'all are joined at the hip. Steve Wynn from the Dream Syndicate, Scott McCoy from the -5, and Linda Pittman tonight at the Fine Line. Have you guys, I know you do a lot of national anthems, or occasionally do. Have you ever done one here at Target Field?
No, we haven't. We've done them in a few places. We got to be on the field at Fenway before the Red Sox Yankees and sing it one day. That was pretty exciting. And we have been to Target. We have been guests of the team and got a nice little tour of the place. As a matter of fact, I was there just a few weeks ago, and I was playing in town with Big Star. So, we love Minneapolis, and we enjoy Target Field, but we haven't done the anthem there.
I noticed something. I do have to ask you one R.E.M. question. Michael Stipe recently, I guess, came clean or corrected the universe on they'd been singing a few lyrics to "It's the End of the World as We Know It" incorrectly. I saw a piece that just went viral of he was correcting. No, the actual line has always been whatever the line was. Okay, and you and I have talked about this a little bit, but R.E.M., the mystique of your band in the 80s, especially the fact that Michael wasn't enunciating all that clearly initially, were you guys aware of the fact that your fans were all phonetically trying to interpret what the hell you were talking about from day one?
Well, we didn't think about it that way. We always wanted to treat Michael's voice as just another instrument, especially he was learning his way with lyrics anyway. A lot of what he was singing wasn't words to begin with, so that was no problem. But it was a problem for the fans because they try to find words that may not even be there. But, of course, he grew into the job, and we decided to put some of the lyrics out.
I was one of those fans. I have friendships that were founded upon trying to decipher lyrics to Murmur.
There may have been a couple of times where it was deliberately vague, but most of the time, we were just trying to make the voice match the music, and that was our goal.
Well, job well done. Make no mistake about that. Tonight at the Fine Line, the Baseball Project. You can still get tickets at baseballproject.net. I'm looking very forward to it. And for people who have asked me, what does the band sound like? I say, well, it sounds kind of like the Dream Syndicate and R.E.M. and all your favorite bands because that's the guys writing the songs. I look forward to seeing you and listening, brother. Thank you for calling in.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. All right, it's time to play Beat the Jock. We got Bert Kreischer tickets on the table. Got some folks on hold. Let's get to it. First up, Bjorn in St. Paul. Good morning, Bjorn.
Morning.
Would you like to play against myself or Paul Fletcher?
I'll take Fletcher.
He's going to take Fletcher.
All right.
Headphones off, dude.
Okay.
Paul has removed his headphones. His microphone is turned off. He is in the dark.
All right, Bjorn, you need to name as many of these as you can. You're trying to get more than Paul. Your category is notable bass players, people who play the bass. You've got 20 seconds. Are you ready?
Yep.
Set, go.
All right. Flea, Sting, Bootsy Collins, Victor Wooten, Geddy Lee, Paul McCartney, Phil Lesh, Thundercat,
4 secs.
Jaco Pastorius.
What was that last one?
Jaco Pastorius. I'm giving it to him. I'm giving him Jaco.
I got 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 9, and I might even give him an extra point for Victor Wooten. Well played, sir. Bjorn, a man after my own heart.
All right,
headphones on, Paul.
Okay, hello.
We're doing Bjorn got 9, Paul Fletcher, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this: if you don't win, I'm not going to think the same of you.
Okay.
All right. You're a music guy.
What
This is right down your alley.
What is the topic?
The category is notable bass players, people who play the bass.
Okay.
Paul is scratching his eyeball, I think.
Nine,
Okay.
9 gives tickets to Bjorn. 10 means that you have won the day, Paul.
Okay, you've got 20 seconds. Ready, set, go.
Mike Kruger, Nickelback. Roger Waters, Jeff Ament, Adam Yauch from Beastie Boys, Geddy Lee, Sir Paul, John Entwistle,
10
Flea,
seconds.
Geezer, Sting, John Paul Jones,
4.
Les Claypool, Cliff Burton.
Yes.
All right. There it is. I got 13.
Boom. Nice work, man.
Well done.
Bummer, Bjorn.
Sorry, Bjorn. Sorry, Bjorn. I couldn't let that one go.
No, that's too. I appreciate you telling me the name of the. You named Nickelback because you said that guy's name. I know he's a buddy of yours, but I don't know.
That's
his
why.
name.
Yeah, I had to clarify. But he's always the first bass player that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Really?
Because he's my he's the radio people always say, oh yeah, I'm friends with the band, which means they went into a meet and greet once and met the guy.
Okay.
This guy's actually a friend, and so he's always the first person I think of.
All right. Fair
Just
enough.
is.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
And he's a hell of a bass player.
Let me just quick question because I thought what would the answer no one from the Doors, would that have worked?
Oh, man.
Just curious.
Sure.
Which leads me to then saying John Doe from X. See, no
I
one.
love John. Yeah.
See that
Yes.
see that connection there. All right.
Nice.
All right. So
Okay.
sorry, Bjorn. Good effort, brother. It was not meant to be. We got Jamie in Lakeville. Jamie, good morning.
Morning.
All right, so you, because we just saw Fletcher compete, you're gonna have to play against me. I'm gonna remove my headphones now. Take it away.
Come down.
All right,
All right,
Jamie.
he's out.
You need to name as many as you can in this category. We'll take current informers. You can do old ones. The category is going to be famous baseball stadiums.
Oof.
You have 20
yeah.
seconds. Are you ready?
Ready.
Set, go.
Wrigley, PNC Park, Yankee Stadium, Dodger Stadium, Target Field, Busch Stadium, Coors Field,
10 seconds.
America Park, Fenway, Oracle,
2 seconds.
Citizens Bank.
Citizen Bank, I got that one.
All right.
Not bad.
I've got 11, and you know what? I want to give him a bonus point for starting with Wrigley Field because that is the only correct first answer.
All right,
Definitely.
he'll
Nice
take it.
work,
Hang
my
on,
man.
Jamie.
Nice work.
Get Steve back.
All right.
I'm back.
Okay, Steve, the category is we'll take current or former on these. The category is famous baseball stadiums.
Current baseball stadiums.
Famous.
Yeah.
You can
Oh,
do
famous.
You can do old ones too if you
Oh,
want.
good,
Old, new, whatever.
good.
Yep.
All right,
All right.
ready, set, go.
Comiskey, Wrigley, Target Field, Camden Yards, Yankee Stadium, Shea Stadium, Fenway, Doyer Stadium, Candlestick Park, Turner Field, Ebbets Field, the Metrodome,
Yes.
Citi Field, Busch Stadium, Coors Field, PNC Bank.
Wow, 16 is what I came up with.
Jeez, dude.
I've been to a lot of
Rattle
baseball
He's a
stadiums.
baseball guy. He's been to damn near every one of
I
them.
was just thinking about, where have I been?
Did you not even mention Wrigley? How dare you?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I said Comiskey, Wrigley, didn't I?
I was just
I thought
counting.
so.
So
My first,
yeah,
thought,
you
my
maybe did.
first thought was those two.
Yeah, okay,
What's
fair
the
enough.
new
Yeah,
White
yeah,
Sox
you're right,
stadium
you're right,
called?
you're
Is
right,
it is it the new
Comerica?
Comiskey? No,
Is
it's
it-
called Americ something else.
America
I think it's
Park
called
or
the
something?
dumpster fire, I think is
All
what they
right.
call it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry about that, Jamie.
Sorry, Jamie. All right. So we got time. Let's try one more. We got to see if we can
Okay.
give these tickets away. Annie in Richfield. Annie, good morning.
Good morning.
Ready to rock a little Beat the Jock?
I'm going to try.
All right. You got a choice now. You're either going to play Fletcher or me.
I'll play you.
All right.
All
playing
right.
me.
There we go.
Headphones
All
are off.
Headphones gone.
Okay, Annie, the category is styles of beer. Not beer brands, but styles of beer. You've got 20 seconds. Ready?
Okay, I am ready.
Set, go.
Ale, porter, lager, pilsner, oh my gosh,
10
honey
seconds.
wife,
Sure. 5 seconds.
ale, porter, lager, Bock.
I'll give you Bach.
Okay,
I got 6. Fletcher, what'd you get?
oh,
I got 6 as well.
Okay.
pitiful.
Well, you
Well, you never
know.
know. You never
Yeah.
know. This
Yeah.
is not an easy topic.
You
so.
haven't lost yet. Hang on, we'll get Steve back.
I am
Steve,
back.
You're in.
The number is 6. The category is styles of beer.
6 to win or 6 to tie?
6 to tie.
Okay.
Annie got 6.
And it's what? Styles?
Styles of beer. So not brands, styles.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Lager, stout, pale ale, porter, Kolsch,
Yes.
Pilsner,
That ties ya.
Bach,
There we go.
malt liquor,
I don't know if
No?
I'm going to give you that one.
Double,
What?
Vienna Lager.
Oh, Vienna Lager.
I'm just
Oh,
trying
my
to think
God.
of other things. Amber ale. I got at least 6.
You did. Yeah,
Okay.
those were fun.
I love that at the end there. Steve's just inventing his own styles of beer.
No, come on. Double, whatever. Yeah, I've seen that.
The
Sorry,
the
Annie. I thought,
The
I thought being
Doberbach.
from Richfield, you were golden, but
All right, well,
The water's too pure down
man,
there.
Yeah.
every now and again, me and Fletcher step up.
Nice work,
Hey,
boys.
we're not playing games here, ladies and gentlemen. You want to win tickets, you got to bring your A game. We get our asses kicked every week. We finally win one, and I'm acting like I just got a championship belt put around my waist.
I'm not trying to make this about me, but I feel like Annie's critical error there was did she know the topic before? She knew it was
What?
beer?
What do you mean she knew it was beer?
Did she know it like before she actually chose her competitor?
No.
I don't know.
She should have chosen
Maybe
me.
she had
'Cause
a-
beer,
Oh.
she would have probably beaten me.
Oh,
Probably,
right.
for
Right.
sure. I would've
Not a
lost.
beer guy.
No.
It's going to be on his tombstone. Paul, not a beer guy, Fletcher.
Yeah, I'll
I
make
like
sure
that.
of
Really?
it.
I'm feeling Minnesota, which means I need some headlines. Give me 5 minutes and 2 songs. Gorman in the morning. Minnesota's 92 KQRS with Fletcher and Ryder. It's Wednesday, September the 17th. Good morning. Guten Morgen. Let's get to it. I'm feeling Minnesota, Paul Fletcher.
All righty then. Yesterday, after mulling over the decision and hinting at another run, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz made it official. He will seek a third term as governor. Walz has served as governor since 2018. However, one change-up, Peggy Flanagan is running for U.S. Senate, so he'll have to figure out who his running mate is going to be. But Walz seeking a third term.
Fair enough.
Very
Won't be me.
famously, Mr. Ryder's old history teacher, Governor Walz, still shops at the Fetus.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, right
Yeah,
on.
from Mankato.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So what you're saying is Mr. Ryder might very well be the lieutenant governor. Wow, hold on. You just buried the lead there, kid.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
would be-
there'd be a lot of new parking restrictions and driving rules in place if that
Thank
were
you.
the case.
Yeah,
Also-
that was my first question. What
What
new
would he do?
platforms what's he going to run on?
Something
Yeah.
tells me that lieutenant governors would no longer wear a tie.
Yeah, no, it would just be a band T-shirt of the day.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Remember the file-sharing platform LimeWire?
Oh, yeah.
Vaguely,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it came after Napster, I believe. They became popular in the 2000s for music streaming. At one point, boasted more than 50 million monthly users. Well, yesterday, LimeWire announced it has purchased the rights to Fire Festival for $245,000 on eBay, outbidding actor Ryan Reynolds' production company. The company, LimeWire, says it will unveil a reimagined version of the infamous Fire brand in the coming months.
Okay, then.
All right.
Wait, Ryan Reynolds was trying to get the Fire Festival?
Apparently as well, yes.
Oh, I might have gone to. I like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
might have
fan.
gone to that. I
The
have a
thing- if-
soft spot for Canadians.
They need
So
all
what
the
if-
help they can get.
What if if the music all sucked, you'd go just because Ryan Reynolds was putting it on?
I mean, have you heard the soundtrack to any of the Deadpool movies? He usually does a
They're
good
pretty
job.
great. Yeah, they're good
Yeah.
for sure.
Good point.
Students from Flea's Silver Lake Conservatory of Music, which is a nonprofit educational organization, the kids from Silver Lake have gotten together for a new EP titled Our Loving Tribute to Red Hot Chili Peppers. It contains covers of the Chili Pepper songs Soul to Squeeze, Humpty Bump, and more. Flea says, the kids, I'm so grateful that our music can be a vehicle for their spirits to fly. I wish I could do Flea's accent. He's kind of a, I don't know, he's got a certain enunciation. It would just be better if he was, maybe you could do Flea. Could you do Flea?
I'd have to listen.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can't, and nothing comes to mind.
But he says
Yeah,
this
me
is what
neither.
music is for. I am so proud of them. Very, very cool. I mean, it's just the Chili Peppers guys doing a lot of good things lately, huh?
In 1993, my former band, the Black Crowes, we were getting our third album together, and we were rehearsing and writing songs at a place in the North Hollywood, San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles, and the Chili Peppers had a rehearsal space right next door, same facility.
Oh, cool.
And so Flea and Chad would come in and jam, and we'd see them
Nice.
every day, shoot
Yeah.
baskets in the parking lot and whatnot. And Flea pulled up one day in a Mercedes sedan, four-door, a beautiful brand new car, which he had already spray painted He took a can of spray paint and went all over, did like a ring around the whole car.
Of course he did.
And he got out of the car, and I just went, oh, man, what happened? He goes, oh, I did that. And I go, because he goes, well, now no one will mess with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is absolutely genius.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, and he goes, it's kind of weird to drive such a nice car. Like he was kind of grappling with the fact he just dropped down 100 GER on a brand new Mercedes. And he's like, oh, I know what to do about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good move.
Ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. A proposal by SpaceX includes launching up to 44 Starship rockets each year from Cape Canaveral in Florida. Of course, there's a lot of fighting on this. People oppose, people all for it. Nudists have jumped into the fight, though. They're against it because Playa Linda Beach, a clothing-optional spot near the Kennedy Space Center, could see frequent closures and noise disruptions. So the nudists are not happy with SpaceX.
Okay, the closures I get, but noise disruptions, who cares? You're naked, you're in the sun. Who cares if there's a little loud noise going on?
Yeah.
I never want to jump into a fight with a nudist.
Yeah, I guess that just means that they don't want to have their conversations. They don't have to yell over the sound of the rockets. Looking good today, Marge. You too, Benny. I mean, whatever. What do they say to each other on the nude beach? I think that's basically what it is.
Probably.
Maybe there's normal conversation.
Looking good, feeling good. Next.
Yes.
Speaking of next, how about sports?
If they're really mad, we can take them here. Hitting us up on the text line, Jim said, nudist colony just east of Duxbury, Minnesota. There's one in Wyoming as well. Hot tip.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hot tip.
Man. That's a very hot tip. Wait a minute. I'm just going to stop right there. I was about to go down the hot tip, deep dive, and it was just going to go. It was going to go terribly wrong.
Yeah,
There's nowhere to go but down.
Button.
Yeah, that was exactly right.
Nowhere to go but down from there.
The Minnesota Twins were down after the second inning last night to the New York Yankees 10-1, and then they scored 8 runs. And it was 10-9, and then the game ended, and they lost 10-9. But if you were there, I bet it was a good time. That's a lot of excitement, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
As we just watch this season dwindle to its blessed ending sooner than later, hopefully.
Good Lord.
The Vikings are an absolute mess. We're going to talk to Sam Ekstrom later this hour about the Vikings. Aaron Jones now on injured reserve with a hamstring strain. They're saying he will miss at least 4 games. We hope it's only 4 games because hamstrings are just... Hamstrings are such jerks. They're like, pay attention to me. I'm tired of ACLs getting all the attention. C.J. Ham, Ty Chandler, many others on injured reserve. The Vikings are just absolutely dinged up.
Yeah,
in fact, we'll see Carson Wentz under center on Sunday. It can't look any worse than J.J. looked on Sunday night. Well, that is, of course, assuming the offensive line actually shows up to play on Sunday. Let's hope that's the case.
Be cool if they did show up.
Paige Beckers of Hopkins, Minnesota is your WNBA Rookie of the Year.
Shocker.
72 sports writers and broadcasters had ballots, and 70 of those went to Paige Beckers.
Wow.
2 other people voted for Washington Mystics guard Sonia Citron, which is just 2 people going, I don't want it to be unanimous. Check back in 10 years. Citron versus Beckers. Who's still going to be lighting up the league? It's going to be Paige.
Yep.
Absolute great season, all-around player, a bright spot for all of Minnesota sports. Congratulations, Paige. That is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Murray Williamson has passed away at at the age of 91. He was the U.S. Olympic hockey coach in 68 and 72. They won silver in 72. The 68 team featured Herb Brooks as a player. He is a legend, apparently. Look, I read about the guy this morning and was fascinated. I'm not claiming to have ever heard of him, but then again, I'm not knee-deep into Minnesota hockey culture. But for an awful lot of people in this state, the state of hockey, Murray Williamson has just been one of those household names. Nice run, brother.
Really
he
good run.
formed the Midwest Junior Hockey League in 1973. He certainly leaves behind a sterling legacy. Hey, how about this? North St. Paul.
I have a question for you two.
Yes?
Have you been to Newman's Bar?
No.
It's legendary, but no, I haven't been there yet.
It's not only legendary, it's in North St. Paul, but it's also the oldest.
Wait, I have been to Newman's. Yes, what am I talking about? The oldest bar in the state.
Yeah.
There you
yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yeah, I have been there.
There you go.
I forget names and stuff. It's like people. I forget your name, but I'll remember everything we talked about.
Nice.
Newman's, I've been there. Hell yeah, I have.
Oldest continuously operating bar in Minnesota.
North St. Paul, the slogan, we are our own town.
That's right.
I appreciate that about you. Just calling it like it is. Mm-hmm. I saw this band, let's see, a little over a week and a half ago in in Pasadena, California,
Nice.
at a little venue called the Rose Bowl.
Little.
And like every other song that night, when this started, everybody screamed and then sang every single word at full voice. It was kind of astonishing. Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. I don't think there's any lyrics in that song that you misunderstand. It's only when Liam Gallagher speaks that you can't understand a damn thing he says.
Right.
That's how that's been going. You know, Oasis, confusing people since 1991.
That's right.
We were talking earlier about misunderstood lyrics. R.E.M's Michael Stipe went on social media last week to clarify some lyrics to It's the End of the World as We Know It that people apparently have been singing and repeating wrong since 1987. And it brought up the fact that there's a ton of these over the years.
So many.
So many. Paul, what's on your mind for misunderstood lyrics?
Okay, Ryder, hit the first one, Guns N' Roses. We all know this one, right?
Down to the Paradise City where the grass
Yeah.
is.
Take me down to Paradise City.
Sure.
Well, somebody at 612 area code said, yeah, I always thought it was Take Me Down to the Very Last City.
Very Last city. Yeah. Sort of like a doomsday
Take
vibe.
me down
Yeah.
to the very last city.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can hear it.
That's what I think about when I think about Indiana. The very last cities.
Yeah, no kidding.
Is that where it is? The
Well,
very last
There
one?
were
That's where
rumors.
Axel's coming from.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Eric and one other texter actually sent in the one that was the first to pop into my head.
Okay.
A Manfred and a Man song.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that was middle school hilarity for me.
Oh,
Rev,
When
for
that
me?
song-
revved up like a deuce is the correct lyric, of
Revved
course.
up like a deuce, or as we sang it, I'm
Wrap-
sure everyone agrees.
Wrapped up like a douche in the middle of the night.
Of 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, and I to this day, I'm not sure
I
that's
still
not
hear
it.
that. I
No.
still hear it. I
We'll
still
have to
hear it.
Call the boss and see what he says.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think we should tell him.
the thing is, I was trying to write a song that was.
Yeah.
You know, if you were in Asbury Park, the boardwalk in New Jersey is a sacred place. The dreams there go there to die, like sharks in the ocean.
Of course, what you're saying is that Manfred Mann's song was written by Bruce.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
Thanks for catching up.
The Vikings are a grease fire right now behind the scenes. Well, I mean, in the MASH unit that is the Minnesota Vikings, we need to be talked off the ledge. So therefore, we're going to get Sam Ekstrom, Vikings insider. If you have any questions for Sam, let us know. 651-989-ROCK. He's coming on in a few minutes. Try to keep the profanity down to a minimum on those. That's in 5 minutes and 2 songs. Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Let's talk about some Skull, shall we? Sam Ekstrom, Vikings insider, host and executive producer with the Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcast Network, is with us on the horn. Sam, good morning, brother.
Good morning to you, Steve. How are we today?
Oh, we're just reeling, reeling as we do. Sam, let's go back before we go forward. On Sunday night, watching the Vikings-Falcons, I was just screaming at the TV about the offensive line. Was I overreacting? Was part of the ineptitude on the offensive side? Was that JJ? Was it the line? Was it both? Where do you see the balance of, who are we most angry at?
Yeah, I think that the offensive line deserves plenty of blame. I think that, a quarterback that isn't making good decisions or fast decisions also can make an offensive line look pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Even the best offensive line, if they have to protect for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, that's a long time, and it's hard to protect that long. But there were some really, really inexcusable free rushers that weren't even accounted for in the blitz package. And it made it look like the Vikings were ill-prepared, to be honest with you. It looked like they had no idea what the Falcons were throwing at them and didn't know how to adjust to it. So in the first game, I think you looked at the backup left tackle and you said, that was the problem. I think there were more problems than that on Sunday night. They also lost their center mid-game to a concussion, so they had bad snaps. They had fumbled snaps. There was a lot of bad stuff happening on the interior of the line as well. So I think it's plenty fair to point some blame at that group.
Yeah, one thing you don't hear much with the recent recent Vikings with O'Connell is the word unprepared. That was a shocking thing to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. He usually has an answer, right? Like even if the first 3 quarters go badly, he usually has an answer in that fourth quarter. Usually at some point it comes together. Mm-hmm. And I think it's probably in the 5 worst Kevin O'Connell coached games of his Vikings tenure. That's about 50 games now total that he's coached in the regular season. And I can't think of too many more that went worse than that. From an offensive standpoint, certainly, if you use enough specific criteria like, turnovers and sacks and total yards, one of the worst offense performances in the modern NFL that you will see ever. It was bad from start to finish, and they really got nothing going at any point.
Sam Ekstrom's with us on Gorman in the Morning. Are there any positive takeaways from J.J. McCarthy's performance on Sunday night? Is there a single silver lining or little green flag in the distance that you can think of?
No, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple really nice throws. I think it was the second quarter when they got down inside the 5-yard line. He had a couple good throws to Jalen Naylor and Adam Thielen. But I mean, man, you saw his mobility. Great, he can get out of the pocket and scramble. But he got hurt. He got hurt on one of those plays.
Yeah.
So maybe seeing a little bit too much competitiveness, a little bit too much youthful enthusiasm from JJ. That's 2 times now in 2 years where him trying to make a play has gotten him injured, and now he's out for 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, there was the overthrow, too. He had, I think it was Naylor wide open, in the third quarter, I believe. It was rough to say the very least. Let's move on to some other bright spots for the Vikings right now. This is a question actually from a listener, Tubby. With the depleted backfield, who's next? Can Robert Smith come out of retirement? Which I don't think Robert's in game shape right now. But that said, what is going to happen? We are just beat up all over the field, but who's going to be carrying the ball on Sunday?
We actually had Robert Smith on a show yesterday on our network, and he looked pretty good. I'm telling you, I think he could suit up. I think he could get out there.
Oh, I saw him doing a bunch of push-ups online over the weekend. Yeah, no, he's still got it in the tank. I just, I don't know if the knees agree with the shoulders. That's all.
Yeah, I mean that's fair to say. If Robert can't do it, if he can't suit up, Jordan Mason's going to get more carries, and I don't think anyone's complaining about that. Jordan Mason proved in San Francisco last year that when he's given high volume, he can make the most of it, and he's proven to be durable. So I think that's a pretty good fallback. Vikings have signed Cam Akers for the 3rd consecutive year. He has returned to Minnesota to provide some depth. But they've also got a very exciting undrafted second-year player in Xavier Scott, who had an excellent preseason and got a job on this team. Xavier Scott could get some carries, and that could be kind of a pleasant surprise if he gets a little work as the change of pace back behind Jordan Mason.
Sam Ekstrom's with us on Gorman in the Morning. Man, that Cam Akers booty call, we just can't seem to shake it. But you know what? I'll take it, Paul.
Hopefully it wasn't a butt dial, right? So my question is, the defensive side of the ball, that might be our silver lining. I know it's easy to roll your eyes at that because they haven't been lights out. But given the injuries they've had and the fact that they've gotten almost no help from the offense, they haven't been that bad. Would you agree?
Yeah. This was a source of debate on our day after show on Monday. Did the defense actually play well on Sunday? Because they gave up 200 rushing yards, and they really got out-physicaled at the line of scrimmage. But then you look at the tail of the tape, and, they held the Falcons to basically only field goals until the very end. And, they had a takeaway early in the game, and they kept getting off the field, or at least minimizing the damage and giving the offense chances. And they were on the field for 37 minutes of that game. They were probably exhausted by the end. I think that more good than not good in that game from the defense. And I kind of like the defense in week 1, too, against Caleb Williams. I think they're bending. They're definitely bending a little bit, but not breaking. And you're right, the injuries are problematic. They're missing, a key edge rusher, a key linebacker, a key safety, a cornerback. Every single position's depleted. But there's still a lot to like about that defense, and they can probably keep you in all these games while the offense figures it out.
Sam Ekstrom's with us. The Bengals come into town this Sunday. I mean, that's a team, that's a franchise that should be sued for quarterback malfeasance. I mean, what they've done to how little they've done to help their superstar potential, Joe Burrow. But they're coming in with a backup, and now we turn to backup Carson Wentz. which, a month ago, nobody saw this coming, but here he is. What are your thoughts? Carson Wentz, this will be the 6th year in a row that he's played for a different team. Is he a good enough game manager at this point to give us any confidence?
Yeah, this is one of the few areas where Vikings fans are, I think, optimistic about their football team because they've seen so many times a backup quarterback come in and be better than the main guy and lead them on deep playoff runs. But I think people are actually excited to see what happens here. He's got certainly a better resume coming in than Sam Darnold did. And look what Sam Darnold did. He won 14 games. And Carson Wentz obviously had the great 2017 season, got hurt, and was never exactly the same. But if you look at some of his stats year over year, like going to the Colts and, playing in Washington, he is a low turnover quarterback. He doesn't take sacks, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's fairly accurate with the football. He's got a strong arm. These are all traits that Kevin O'Connell can work with and appreciate. And, they don't need Joe Montana. They just need somebody who can, manage the game, make some plays, make some big throws on third down. I think it's intriguing. I really do. With someone of his pedigree, there's a lot to be excited about when you pair up with Kevin O'Connell.
Sam, I'm looking ahead at the schedule. So Bengals, certainly a team that can be beaten this week. And then you've got overseas games 2 in a row, but it's Steelers and Browns. That's 3 games that if Carson Wentz is playing above average football, just game manager deluxe, that you could easily see getting wins out of those. So being super optimistic, oh my gosh, what are the chances? This team could be 4-1 after 5 games. But then the Eagles, Chargers, Lions, and Ravens. That's a 4-pack that no one wants to see on the schedule. And again, I try not to look too far ahead and get too up or too down. But my goodness, this season is not really going to get any easier anytime soon after we get back from Europe.
Yeah, you got to have those 3 games that you laid out. You probably have to get all those so you have some cushion on the other side of it. And maybe coming out of that bye, maybe you reach a point health-wise where you haven't been this year because they're scheduled to get a number of guys back, off IR at that time. But what if you have won those 3 games, Steve, with Carson Wentz? Do you turn back to J.J. McCarthy at that point?
That's where I was
think
going.
That's the $1 million question, and it all depends on how Carson Wentz looks in those 3 games. But they've invested so much in J.J. McCarthy. They put all their cards in the middle, or their chips in the middle of the table around this kid. Can you give up on him, or can you shelve him if Carson Wentz looks good? I think that you have to give every opportunity to try to make this work. But man, if they're 4-1 and Carson Wentz is playing well, it's going to be hard to make that move.
Yeah, if they're 4, that's a great point. And especially if Carson Wentz gets the start against Philly at home on the 19th, not whether they win or lose, but if they're in the game, if the Philly defense doesn't overwhelm them, I don't know how you go back to JJ.
Yeah, you got the former team angle there, the revenge game angle with Carson Wentz and Philly. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this happen before, right? Randall Cunningham in '98, Case Keenum in 2017. We saw Jeff George came around and had a great season as a backup. Brad Johnson came back in 2006 and did this. Gus Frerotte, there's just a long list of backups that have done really well here in Minnesota. And Carson Wentz now, he gets to play in front of a lot of adoring fans, and he was kind of a pseudo Minnesotan coming from Fargo and NDSU. So there's a lot of people that are going to support this guy.
Sam, be honest. Right now, we go down on the field. What's the longest field goal you feel confident converting?
Is there a field goal block? Trying to knock it down?
No, it's just you and a tee. I'll put the ball on a tee and no one else on the field. How far can you kick one?
I think I could sneak it over the uprights at 30 yards.
Nice. You know what? I'll take it. That's a solid kick right there.
Yeah,
all right, last
that's
thing.
Impressive.
Give us your pick for Sunday.
Boy, the Vikings are banged up. I mean, we haven't gotten the injury reports yet this week, but it's conceivable that of the 30 most important Vikings, they could be missing 10 of them. It's sad right now. So maybe we'll see on Darrisaw, we'll see on Harrison Smith, we'll see on Andrew Van Ginkel, but I'm going to take the healthier team. I'm going to go Bengals 26, Vikings 21.
Wow. All right. I'd love to see 3 touchdowns myself.
Ouch.
I don't care what happens.
Yeah,
Sam,
right?
it's always our pleasure, brother. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You got it. Man, it's a long season. 17 grinding weeks, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
week 3, right?
Yeah, this is
not
just
week
week
13.
3.
Holy
No.
moly!
No, we're golden. We're golden.
Sure.
Trust me when I say
A
that.
third of the team is out.
Come on, Minnesota. I'm feeling Minnesota, in fact, which means we have headlines in about 5 minutes and 2 songs. Gorman in the morning. Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Glad to have you along today. Quick reminder, you can find Gorman in the Morning podcast anywhere you listen and anytime you want. Sponsored by Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies.
It's true.
Very quick reminder.
A very quick reminder. We talked with Mike Mills of R.E.M. and the Baseball Project earlier in the show. They're playing The Fine Line tonight.
Yeah.
It's a great band. We just talked to Sam Ekstrom about the Vikings. Their woes, if you will. Plenty of things going on the show today. Erik Berry from Trampled by Turtles will be with us in about a half an hour. All that to say right now, how about some headlines, Paul Fletcher? I'm feeling Minnesota.
Can do. Recreational cannabis is now available for the first time at Minnesota shops. Legacy Cannabis in Duluth gets the distinction of being the first to open in the state. They did so yesterday at 420, man.
That'll just tell you how much pull those Trampled by Turtles guys have.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Here in the Twin Cities, though, Rise Cannabis is opening 3 locations, as well as one in Wilmer and another in Mankato. And you know what? Like in 3 minutes, or just under 3 minutes, they're opening up.
Wow.
Game on.
Yeah, the thing is, they've been sitting back and waiting because they had their license 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But the thing is the cultivators got their license 2 months ago
Sure.
as well. So it took a second for supply to catch up.
That makes sense.
Drummer Matt Cameron will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a second time with Soundgarden on November 8th. He was previously part of Pearl Jam's induction in 2017. Matt says, quote, "This time feels a little more meaningful. I helped build Soundgarden from the ground up, and I helped create the sound, I think, a little bit more than I did with Pearl Jam. That was definitely more of an established thing that I came into. Oh, by the way, Soundgarden also working on a final album. There's no release date set yet. They want to complete the whole thing before they really release any details, any singles, any of that kind of stuff.
I was happy to see this week they announced, along with Chris Cornell's widow, that they buried the hatchet. There was there was a beef between the 3 remaining members of the band and Cornell's wife about what to do with those recordings and who they were property of, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, we're a united front now. And that's good because at the end of the day, everybody just wants to hear whatever Soundgarden was working on. So that's cool.
For sure.
I leapfrogged something that I want to get to really quick. Mount St. Helens is not erupting. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. It's looked like it might be erupting recently, but it turns out it was just leftover ash from the deadly 80 eruption that's blowing into the air. The USGS says this time of year, when snow has melted, strong winds are around, the volcano in Washington state can blow the exposed ash into the air. Mount St. Helens alert level remains normal. But experts caution that anytime there's resuspended ash in the air, it can be, hazardous to aviation and health and things of that nature.
Sure.
It would just freak me out if I were anywhere near that thing and I looked up and saw that ash. I remember very, very well the eruption in 1980, and it was just absolutely terrifying watching the videos of it. It was grainy footage back then, of course.
Yeah.
But then, that ash covered
Everything.
the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, it went all over the world. That was crazy. So, yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Speaking of crazy, Charlie Hunnam, most known for his role as Jax Teller in Sons of Anarchy, is set to play the haunting serial killer in the 3rd season of the Netflix horror anthology series Monster, the Ed Gein story. Gein's gruesome crimes, including grave robbing and creating objects from human remains, involved an obsession with his mother, isolation, psychosis, and, well, it inspired decades of horror films like Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hunnam said he lost almost 30 pounds just to get a more malnourished light frame, and says he spent a lot of time thinking about Ed's energy, which was not particularly confident or like front foot type of energy. This premieres on Netflix October 3rd. Are you two in on this thing?
Yeah, the 2 seasons. So season 1 was the Dahmer story. Season 2 was the
Menendez.
Lyle and Erik Menendez.
Yep.
Both of those were fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure people could nitpick well, it wasn't quite realistic because I don't care. The performances, the scripts, the show's fantastic. And I've seen the trailer for this Ed Gein. I just watched it yesterday, in fact. And sincerely, very troubling. Like, I've seen a lot of serial killer stuff. We've all seen horror films and this and that. But very rare do I look at something and go, I don't know, man. That's pretty
creepy.
That's kind of got me, and that one got me, so which means of course I will watch it.
I had the exact same reaction to the trailer. Ryder, what about you?
Oh, sure, I'll watch. I've watched the Menendez brothers one. I haven't watched the Dahmer one yet. This seems like a wintertime activity where I'm hunkered down
there you go.
in the snow. Yeah.
I mean, as troubling as Dahmer was, it's worth a watch for sure. And this one looks like it will be too. That's what I got.
Let's talk sports quickly. The Minnesota Twins lost to the Yankees last night. Only the only thing of note, I should say, is the Yankees were up 10-1 after the second inning, and the Twins came back, scored 8 runs over the next 7 innings, and damn near almost came back and won. They did lose the game 10-9, but it was a fun game, I would imagine, to be sitting there just pounding beer after beer if I'd been at Target Field.
Oh yeah.
I still want to get out there. I got to check the schedule. I would feel weird if I didn't get one last game in. You know, when you realize the season's coming around the corner. So you got to go. You got to go knowing it's your last game of the year. It feels like the Vikings are a mash unit right now. Aaron Jones is joining C.J. Ham and Ty Chandler on the injured reserve list. Of course, starting quarterback J.J. McCarthy will be out for a few weeks. Carson Wentz, this is your chance, brother. Come in and take over the team.
Man.
Show us what we might very well have. You got the Bengals, then you got the Steelers, then you got the Browns, all winnable games, honestly. But then it gets real hard. So these next 3, let's win them and let's really appreciate them, because that month of October into November is a rough stretch of the schedule. Make no mistake.
It potentially creates such a mess if he's successful. Holy smokes!
I'll take it. I'll take a tough decision
sure.
because of winning over. I guess we'll go back to the rookie because we can't do any worse than this.
That's true.
We'll see.
True.
Dallas Wings star Hopkins native Paige Beckers is your WNBA Rookie of the Year. 70 out of the 72 votes went to Paige Beckers. The 2 that didn't, I think that's just someone thinking, oh, well, she's going to win it, so I'll give a little love over here to somebody else.
Okay.
Make no mistake, this was a done deal. It took Paige about 5 games to figure out the pace of the WNBA. She had a tremendous year, averaged 19 points on just under 50% shooting, 4 rebounds, almost 6 assists, almost 2 steals a game. She's just an all-around baller. Congratulations, Paige Beckers. A little bit of sports news on this day from 1935, 90 years ago. The Brooklyn Dodgers cut an outfielder named Len Kennecke. Len Kennecke was so upset after being cut that he boarded a flight to his home. He lived somewhere in Canada. Got on a plane. They landed the plane in Buffalo specifically to kick him off because he was drunk and belligerent.
Ooh.
This is 1935.
Wow.
This is when, you'd half expect your pilots to be drinking.
Yeah.
He was just that drunk. He got to Buffalo and then chartered a plane to take him the rest of the way. As soon as that plane took off, he attacked the pilot.
Oh.
Let's just say Len was not a good, happy drunk.
Party foul.
The pilot, trying to save the plane from being taken down, picked up a fire extinguisher, smacked Len Kennecke in the head, and killed him.
Ooh.
As far as I know,
cow.
that's the only thing. There's not a lot of things in baseball that only happened once, but this is one of them.
Yeah.
The only time an outfielder for the Dodgers was killed by a fire extinguisher by a pilot who at the same time was flying a plane.
Yeah.
It's only happened once.
It sounds like it.
Way to go, Len.
Wow.
That's a good one.
It's a distinction.
I also did want to say this is September the 17th, which means 238 years ago, the United States Constitution was signed by a majority of the delegates. This is the day we celebrate the U.S. Constitution. Fairly significant moment in the history of not just this country, but for Western democracy as a whole. The Constitution's a hell of a read. I fully and heartily recommend it.
Hell yeah.
And really, just get to the First Amendment if you don't have much time. That's a pretty important one.
That is.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Big fan of the Constitution myself.
Yeah, it's a nice document.
But right now, I was thinking about we talk a lot about music on the show. We talk a lot about Minnesota music. Let's talk about Prince really quickly. If he were Irish, we would have definitely called him a leprechaun. I mean, he's just a little guy, and he's just spreading magic everywhere he goes. But he's not Irish, so I'm going to assume. First things first. Thank you. Do you think Prince ever went to Hammond, Wisconsin? Think he ever
had to have been
on just a quick flyer over to Hammond? Sure he did.
Why not?
All right, Hammond, Wisconsin. You can claim him for the day. I'm going to give it to you.
It is the heart of St. Croix County, after all.
We'll see. There you have it. No, I was getting around to the point that I look at Prince and I think of him as a funkacon. That's the word I would come up with. Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. This Saturday at Huntington Bank Stadium, Farm Aid 40. The 40th anniversary of Farm Aid will be going down. Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, the big three, of course, but a great list of other artists jumping on the bill, including Duluth's Trampled by Turtles. And mandolinist of Trampled by Turtles, Erik Berry, is on the horn. Erik, good morning, brother.
Good morning to you, Steve.
Good to have you with us, sir. Let's go back. Early days, I mean, were you the kid that grew up with Bill Monroe posters on your wall, or were you a rocker?
I was a rocker.
There you go. I kind of assumed that would be the case.
I grew up as a musician of a bunch of different instruments, and when I started playing guitar, I felt like I'd found my spot. But then in the late 90s, when I started playing mandolin, I felt like I'd really found my spot.
Mandolin's an instrument. Anybody I know that is a player, it's not the first one for anybody, really. It usually roads lead there. What got you interested in that instrument?
Well, when I saw it, my thought was, if I had one of those, I wouldn't be the seventh person with an acoustic guitar sitting around a campfire.
There you go. Yeah.
But when I started playing it, what I liked about it is I'd spent some time playing bass in bands, is I could play bass lines with guitar players on mandolin, and it didn't interfere with the bass player doing their thing. And I really liked the pop and how percussive it was as well. So it covered a lot of ground that I felt like the guitar actually didn't.
So Trampled by Turtles is not what you would call a traditional bluegrass band, but it certainly fits within that genre. I don't imagine there was a thriving bluegrass scene in Duluth at the time.
No, there really wasn't. I think we're all just kind of giving our ears a break from amps.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's great. Makes perfect sense. It's something that only you have to walk that road before you can really understand it. It's like, you know what? Let's just keep it down here. Let's just do ourselves a favor. And you guys are now on the bill for Farm Aid. Is this the first time you guys have done Farm Aid?
Yes, it is.
That's got to be pretty cool to be doing it in your home state.
It is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I when I saw the name on there, my first thought was that's awesome for these guys. So, have you done gigs with? I mean, have you been on a stage with Willie before? Neil, do you have any past run-ins with any of the big names that have been a part of Farm Aid for 40 years?
We've done a couple outlaw tours.
Nice.
And including one this summer. So we've even gotten to be on stage like for singing "I'll Fly Away" with Willie. We've shared a couple festival bills with Neil Young, and I'm proud to say he gave me a nod one time walking by me.
There you go.
Stage.
Gotta like that.
We have not crossed paths with John Mellencamp.
Okay. Watch your back. He's a tough guy. He's surly. The word on the street. He'll turn on you. So going back to the beginning of the band, you guys are all rockers. You're giving your ears a rest. I mean, how long after you put this band together and started playing did you start to recognize and realize, like, hey, there's a road here. There's a path we might be able to find in this?
Well, I don't want to sound cocky, but our first couple gigs had way more excited of a reaction and turnout than like any shows any of us had ever played. It was kind of like, I wonder what's going on here. I'm not going to say that it was easy or anything like that, but it just sort of felt like this was in 2003. It was like, I think people across the country or across the state are looking forward to giving their ears a break, maybe.
It makes perfect sense. Kind of like the way you wanted to play mandolin, just to not be the seventh guitar player. I mean, putting together this band and finding that sound. I mean, unique is the way to go if you stumble into it, or if it's by design. When you are standing out so much, that's it can't hurt you.
I agree, and I do have to give credit to our singer and songwriter Dave Simonette. Without his tunes, this band would have stopped being a band long ago, I'm sure.
Right. So are you guys all still up in Duluth, or have you moved around? Are you spread out?
Everyone's still in Minnesota. I'm still the closest to Duluth, but I don't live in the city limits anymore.
Gotcha. So you grew up in that area then?
I'm actually the Wisconsin kid in the band.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the other 5 guys are born and raised Minnesota, but I grew up near Madison.
So does that mean Packers on Sunday?
Well, I'm old enough that the Packers are the team that broke my mom's heart every Sunday. So I'm only a fan when I'm being given grief by the Vikings fans who,
sure.
I'm surrounded by them on tour. So
that makes
if
sense.
they start saying something, I'm prepared to say something, but I don't really pay attention to football.
It's probably safest, actually. A Wisconsin guy in a Minnesota band, it's best to just talk about music all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, so have you ever in bluegrass circles? I mean, off the top of my head, I can't remember when Bill Monroe died, but did you ever have a chance to meet him?
No, and he died in '96.
Oh, it was '96. Okay, I was thinking late '90s, maybe it was early 2000s, but yeah, okay, that makes sense. So what's the Trampled by Turtles? What's left, man? I mean, you guys have taken a bluegrass-ish band a lot farther than you probably ever imagined. Do you sit around? Do you look at it as there's an end date, or are you just going to keep going until they take the mandolin out of your hands?
Well, I hope it's the latter, but
yeah.
I mean, nothing's guaranteed.
Well, no, that's very true. But it's an awesome story. I mean, it's a great band. The band music speaks for itself, but it's awesome that you guys have done this from Duluth and gone all over the world with it. And on Saturday, of course, again, to be a part of Farm Aid. Right around the corner from where we sit right now, it's pretty awesome. And I'm looking very forward to seeing you guys. I'll be there most of the day. I've been excited since they announced this thing, and I'm glad to have you guys on the bill. And Erik, thanks for calling in, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate talking.
You got it. We'll see you Saturday.
All right, sounds good.
The Duluth bluegrass scene, a vibrant, shocker.
I mean, it's probably the least likely town for a band like this to come out of.
I heard the name Trampled by Turtles for, I would guess, 2 years before I knew that they weren't like, I thought that just sounded to me like a metal band. Trampled by Turtles. You just, no, not that at all.
One of the guys in Trampled by Turtles was actually a speed metal drummer before Trampled by Turtles. Yeah. I just read it.
I mean, there's a lot of fast-moving parts in that band.
I was going to say,
bluegrass
sense. Ain't for sissies, man. You get those banjo and mandolin parts going, you're flying.
Yeah, and writing that first big song and calling it codeine probably drew a few people in there, too.
I imagine that probably had something to do with it. Farm Aid this Saturday. Looking very forward to that. I'm also looking forward to The Last Word, which is coming up not that long from right now. Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Hey, a reminder, you can meet up with Chris Nelson Saturday from 10 to noon at Fleet Farm in Oakdale for the grand reopening of their convenience store. Sign up to win sweet tickets to a preseason wild game and other KQ prizes.
I love Fleet Farm.
Saturday, 10 to noon, Fleet Farm in Oakdale. Go hang out with Chris Nelson. All right, here's today's last word. Every now and again, man's desire to simply live a longer, healthier life leads to fashion breakthroughs.
Okay.
Well, at least it happened once. Back in the 1600s, if you were walking through the streets of any major city in Europe, you were stepping in sewage.
Oh, gross.
It was disgusting. Yeah. And if you had if you had a cut on your foot, any sort of blister or open sore, which was very normal at the time, you could face a nasty infection. And again, this was the 1600s. You were going to die.
Yep.
And what did they invent to help? High heels.
No way.
High heels
really?
Go back to the desire to step above the sewage and dreck of the city streets. A practical public health measure becomes fashion. Isn't history fun?
I thought it would have been galoshes. That was going to be my guess.
Nah, high heels, man. The taller your shoes, the likelier you were to live.
Until you fell face first into the sewage.
That
because
was
you
always a
walk
problem.
In the high heels.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I guess the idea of stilts hadn't come around yet.
No.
Can you imagine if everybody in like 1672 Amsterdam was walking around on stilts?
Oh man.
Good morning, good-looking pair of stilts. Yes.
Yeah.
I put the clogs on the bottom to get chuckle. All right, so tomorrow on this show, as it is Thursday tomorrow, we'll be playing a game we call Rank You Very Much. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Fletcher, what's coming up next on Minnesota's 92 KQRS?
Well, we've got another day of bonus commercial freedom, I like to call it. From 10 to noon and from 1 to 2, I get to go commercial free. So that's 3 total hours between 10 and 3. Where it's just nonstop music. Nice. So you should probably just hang out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pancho Sampredo, the great guitarist in the band Crazy Horse for years and years and years and years. In the late 80s, Neil Young and Crazy Horse were scheduled to play a gig in Russia. And then shortly before it happened, the promoter over there turned out to be a con man, and they canceled the gig. And when Neil told the band, we're not playing in Russia, they blew it up. Pancho said, well, I guess we'll just have to keep on rocking in the free world then. And everybody laughed. But Neil was like, hang on. I think I can do something with that.
Pancho's onto something.
And he certainly did. See you tomorrow.